Here we go. Just wait for the news. We're live, but we've got to wait for the news. Thank you. Good evening. I cut that short because I don't like the ending of that when it goes dun 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 because it wakes me up. I like to be half asleep. Anyway, then I can remember everything. Okay, guys, if you are listening on radio, welcome. Crosswordspodcast.uk 102 FM. So you can get that. If you go by Radio 5, then slip on a little bit, you'll find us. Okay, so go by Radio 5, and go on a little bit, and you can find us. Just there, by Radio 5. We're not Radio 5, but we go by. Don't worry about it. Anyway, and on podcast, we are on podcast, Crossroads Podcast UK, and on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, whatever, you'll find us. And oh yes, and you'll find us on Facebook too. Okay, good evening and welcome. Okay, I have got Jane Mayfair with me tonight, and I tell you what, Jane.
Have I changed my name?
Jan. Right,
You made me a film star.
Jan, I am sacked. Yeah, Jane Mayfair. Yeah, Jan Mayfair tonight. And I'm sorry. Oh gosh, I made a mistake. I'll start again. No, I won't.
Jan
Yeah.
Mayfield.
Yeah. So anyway, I've got Jan here, and welcome, Jan. Tell everybody, because no one's kind of probably heard of you before. I'm not saying that they haven't, but can you tell everybody what you do?
Thank you. Thank you for that introduction and my name change. And
That's okay. That's fine.
It doesn't really matter what you're called, does it? As long as you like what you're being called. So thank you.
Thanks, Jane.
I have worked for many years as an intuitive psychic medium, but not only that, also helping people with mental health, depression, anxiety, and if anybody's got any problems that can't move forward in their life, then I help them with that. And also I've written a couple of books, so I guess I'm an author. Spiritual book and a journaling book to help people learn how to journal, because it's so important to get things out of your psyche onto paper to help you to free your mind.
Now, you didn't know this, did you? Because I didn't. I was see. We had never. I had never nothing planned for tonight. See, except for one thing, to talk about what you do about your your psychic ability. Right? Did we have anything planned about that?
No, with nothing planned. No, I'm a nervous wreck here, wondering what.
No. So we didn't have nothing planned, no. And so now I'm what you call a person who is, what can I say, skeptic. Say, right? I'm a skeptic.
I love skeptics.
Yeah, good. Good. I love people like you too, because I like having a go at them. Because
I come on here of my own free will, you know.
Oh yeah. So anyway, Jan, what I'm trying to say is this, right? Is all this kind of like mediumship and everything? Is it true as it's supposed to be?
I can only tell you from my experience, because I can't speak for anybody else, because I believe that we all have our own way of doing it, if you like.
Yeah.
So for me, since I've been a child, I've seen things, people that are walking down the street that nobody else around me can see. I hear people talking that other people don't hear. And I get so many words, messages, guidance for other people that doesn't necessarily come true there and then. And a lot of people call me up maybe 3 years later and say, I thought you was just giving me a load of words, but everything's come true that you've said. I think the proof is in when people really get a lift in their life from things that you're helping them with, things that you perhaps could never even have known about. Sometimes people need help with when people pass over, and I think that's where the mediumship comes in. I believe the psychic bit comes in when we're looking forward. We're helping you to look forward to your future, bring in a few things in that can help you recognize when you're on the right track and on the right path. Does that
Do you
answer
think
that?
so? If someone come to you and said, "Jan, I want you to kind of like contact my granny," say,
Yeah.
will you be able to do that?
What I say to them is, we've set the intention to contact Granny. What I'm going to say to you, I believe, is coming from Granny or relayed to me from Granny. You need to see how it fits into your life. I cannot categorically say that it's Granny, can I? Because although I'll describe them, I can give a bit of their personality, depending what they're giving me. But it's how you receive that information that's
But didn't you
important.
just say earlier that you can see people too?
Yeah, I can see and I can describe, but sometimes people are looking for something so specific that the people on the other side, they might miss that. They might just say,
Yeah,
oh, tell him this, tell him that, tell him the other.
yeah.
But he or she is looking for something so specific. And if you miss it, then that's when people say, oh, you're rubbish, you don't know what you're doing. But you've given them a whole lot of stuff that they can't
Yeah,
understand.
yeah, yeah. You know, I've spoken to lots of people, and it does this, and as I keep saying, I'm a bit skeptic, so I kind of like ask weird questions. So forgive me if I do. But the
That's
trouble
fine.
is, the trouble is, I find it very difficult to believe in. Okay, now I'll tell you why. It's because I've sat in spiritualist churches. I've been to fortune tellers. I've been to whatever when I was younger and everything. And what's come out of their mouth is a lot of gobble.
Well, I can't speak for other people. I don't work in churches, and if let me just say this: the more open-minded you are, the better results that you'll get. And I'll give you an example. I work in a cafe once a month, and they close it off, and I speak to the audience, so many people. And I always say, who's not been here before? Is anybody skeptical? If you are skeptical, please keep an open mind, else someone likely to come to you. Because the skepticism in the person sends somehow a block, or the people on the other side think, oh, well, if they're skeptic, I'm not going to bother coming through. That kind of thing happens. And last time there was one lady that was skeptical, and I couldn't get that. Well, I did in the end, but I was trying all night to go to her, to speak to her, but I kept being drawn back away from her. And because her mind wasn't open, because she wasn't wanting to receive, or she was frightened of what I might tell her, I don't know. I just only got a little bit of information for her, but she would have come there like, I don't live like this, and I don't know why they come and sit there really. But to be skeptical and open-minded is fine. To be skeptical and closed-minded, you might as well not bother coming.
So right, okay, that was a bit. So you're
No,
saying
that's how I am. I'm straightforward.
right. So that was a bit harsh, wasn't it? Because you're saying
No,
that, but why?
I don't think
Explain.
I was harsh. I think I'm just being realistic. I'm telling you how it is. Because why should I do this work that I've been doing for a long time for people to come and almost start to ridicule what you're doing when, you've got so much faith in it yourself. I wouldn't sit on your radio show and ridicule you for what you're doing.
Right. Okay. 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 How about? I'm not really. Can I just get things straight first? Okay. I am not coming on here to kind of like ridicule you for what you do.
No, I know you're not now. I
No.
know that. Yeah.
Okay. I won't do that. There's a lot of people when we get seventh guests come up and speak to people, we get a lot of reaction from it. So I thought because you do it, I thought let's quiz you about it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, right, you can. I wanted to tell you this. You can leave anytime you want. It's not a problem. But what I say to you is this: that many people probably listening now, right, on the radio, right, they're probably saying, well, yes, okay, I do believe in it, and no, I don't. It's a load of cobbles, what people say.
Yeah.
But the trouble is, it's up to them. It's
Yeah.
it's up to them. Now, all I can say is this: that my faith is in I believe in God. That's my faith, and
Yeah.
I believe that God is given everybody a gift, and also Christians use the same thing as kind of like spiritual gifts and all different spiritual. But some people, though, Jan, they use spiritualism as a gain, a money gain,
Yeah.
right? Do you get what I'm trying to say? And what they do is they go out there, right, and they say they're a spiritualist or whatever they are. And what they do is they go to say if you've got somebody who's lost their mum or something, and they go up and say, I can help you to contact your mum, right? And you said to me earlier, you said to me, we can try, didn't you? You
We
said we
can
can try,
ask. I
ask,
said we can
you can
ask.
ask. But that was an honest question. But these people, what they do is, right, they say, yes, we can get in contact with your granny, but it's going to cost so much. Now, there's two things here. You're hurting your granny. No, sorry, you're hurting other people, but also you're being lied to from the spiritualist. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Okay? So there's a thing up there. So that's why people kind of like don't believe in mediumships and stuff like that. But I can totally get you what you do, and and whatever you do, that's up to you. But I'm talking about where people are out there who's in front of thousands of people saying they can do this and do that and everything, but they can't.
No.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, they can't. I mean, like I said, I can't speak for other people because they're not here. But I wouldn't personally, I would never say, yes, I'm going to contact your brother or you,
Correct.
whoever.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would say, if that's who you're asking for, then we'll ask the question and I'll speak from the voice that's
Yeah.
speaking.
Yeah.
Um, the other day, a lady was connected with me, and it was very, very sad. She'd lost 3 children in 3 years in their 30s, and she just needed and wanted to hear something from them. I believe that you have to be, and that, I mean, that was so sad for me. It was so upsetting to feel and see her crying so deeply for the children that she'd lost, but also to feel, because I feel energies, and I don't expect everybody to understand that, but I feel the energies of the people that have passed over. But what they put on me is the energies that were around them as they were passing, and the sadness that they feel because their mother was sad in this case. So you have to really start to compose yourself and just say, I understand that you want to hear from your 3 children. However, I'll give you the words that I'm being given and you can decide who it is. And I did speak from all 3, but
Mm,
I never really knew which one I was speaking from at each point. She decided that by what I said.
yeah, yeah. So that's really good. And and I do get you. Honestly, truthfully, I do get you. Honestly, but there's other people out there who make some mockery of what they do, don't they? Do you agree?
I do agree that some people are more of performers um, than authentic mediums, shall I say?
Yeah, yeah. And it kind of like it's not nice when they do that because it spoils everybody else's kind of income. It's probably because it's about income, but also it's that they got a gift, and it's like yourself. You got a gift to kind of like help people and things like that. So you're helping people, but also you gotta make a living, and that's it. But
Yeah.
but other people out there, they just kind of like they just do it, and they're not true or nothing to what they're doing. It's just it's like these tarot card readers sometimes, isn't it?
I do believe that there's good and bad in everything. And I've had some amazing tarot readings from people that have really learned the art of tarot reading. But yeah, I mean, it's horses for courses. Then not everyone is good at everything, and some people try and get on a bandwagon because they think it might be easy money. But I charge for people because it's my job, but I also offer free things. I do a lot of free work, and for me, if I can give the free, if I can give the healing and also earn my living at the same time, then for me it's all about balance and feeling comfortable with everything that I'm doing.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, I remember, Jan. Right, I had somebody on here. I can't mention no names, but if you go through the if you go through YouTube, you'll probably find out who it was. And he was a spiritualist. He was a person medium and spiritualist, and he nearly went off because some of the questions were he was saying that I was a bit offensive to him. I'm not trying to be offensive to him. It's
I
what
don't take you
people,
as
yeah, how ridiculous is that? Yes, and what it is, all I'm trying to say, people ask me what to say, and I'll do it. I'll try the best what I do. So, and that's it. And he was a bit offensive to me until that's it. So I don't mind. But all what I'm trying to pick up about this is I hate it is when people are trying to help people generally, and when you got people who come on like Facebook or any other media channels and say they can do this and do that and give out what you call a load of bow and take people's money, rip them off, and promise to the world because that person is paying that money and trying to find that psychic person
well.
could be hanging on hope to get in
Yeah,
contact with their mum or a relative. Do
yeah.
you agree?
I do agree. And that's what makes me continue to do the work, because there are so many desperate people that need that connection to those people that have passed over to help them to continue in their earthly life. And also to help people that just need that kind of upliftment. And very often, and it's come to my attention so much over the years, that people have gone into depression and things like that, and they're at the end of their tether. And whatever structures, counselling and all this stuff is in place, it's never enough. It's never
Oh,
enough,
mm.
and it doesn't continue. And you get a lot of people like that ring up people like me. And it's not all about connecting to your granny, it's helping people in their lives. Because
And they're finding an answer, don't they? They want to find an answer, don't they?
yeah, they do. They
Yeah,
want to help
yeah,
themselves to move forward. They want an answer. They want to, sometimes people are developing even as well, and they can
yeah,
hear voices and this and that can happen. And they just need someone to talk to that they know won't laugh at them about it.
yeah, yeah. So, um, Roger, what do you say? Right, okay. So I got somebody called Roger, and he's saying to me, he said, "What do you do?" So you know when you have a customer or a person comes to you,
Yeah.
what is your procedure? Is it a certain procedure, or do they fill in the piece of paper when they come to you, or they just come to them, sorry, come to you as they are?
It depends. I mean, I haven't done many sort of in my home since COVID, so most of my work is online. Um, so Zoom or Skype or something like that. If they come to me, I do get them to fill out a bit of a form, but I don't. I just more of a declaration that they're there of their own free will, and they
Yeah,
realise, you know, the law states they have to be over 18 and all that. My procedure is I haven't got a set procedure for every person because everybody comes for a different reason.
yeah,
So I'll probably say, you know, what are you expecting from the session? Is there something you want from the session? But I say, don't give me any information about, you know, the content. You know, like they might say, oh, I just need a bit of help with my future, or I just want to connect to somebody that's passed over, or I just want you to give me a general, you know, start talking and then I'll ask you questions, you know, halfway through or whatever. I like it to be easy so they feel they can ask questions and that I can answer them from the other side. I think I would answer that by saying everyone's different.
yeah,
Everyone's different, so I work differently with each person.
yeah. Um, I got James saying, do you ever use the spirit board?
Yes, I do. And I've used it in groups of people. I've
Isn't that
used it.
dangerous in a way?
Listen, let me just say, it's your perception. So if it's used in the correct way, this is my opinion, if it's used in the correct way, I would open it I call it an opening prayer, and then we would work with it, and then I would close it down with a prayer. I've worked somehow, some people have me once a year to go to their house and we do it. And I've been going to some houses for 6, 7 years. And we always get beautiful information and words coming through. And, you know, we often have the person that's receiving the message to not touch the glass or anything so that they can't influence it with their subconscious. So I've just had some amazing stuff come through it. I can't say that it's evil. I can't say that it's going to cause a problem because I've never seen a problem with it. And it's just always been so beautiful. So many heartwarming times that I've had with it that have helped people, like spelling out names, saying how they passed and letting them know that they're still there around them from the words that they write. It can be quite amazing used not, I was going to say used not in the wrong way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but also on the flip side of it, sometimes it can be used in bad ways too, can it? It can be dangerous for some.
I don't know, I've never experienced that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So because um, in the UK, the occult is kind of like, I've got it here, is risen to around about 60%, and what's happened is when people use the the Ouija board or whatever, they say, you know, they say sometimes it can be really dangerous, and spirits can actually, um, kind of like come out and actually stay in their homes.
All as I can say is that that's never happened at any time that I've done that. Never,
No,
never
Jan,
happened.
but can that happen? Can that really
I don't
happen?
know. I don't know. I don't know if it can
You're
happen.
laughing, Jan. You're laughing.
I'm
No,
laughing
honestly.
because I don't
Oh,
know.
right. Okay. But
Let me tell you. Let me tell you about me. I work by my experiences. So all the spiritual experiences I've had, all the connections, all the talking in my head, all this stuff is how I can express myself to answer questions that you give me or anyone else, and all from my experiences. So whether I've used a Ouija board, table tipping, whether I use cards or my mediumship, whatever I'm using, channeling, it's all from my experiences, not from books and not from films and things like that. I've had tables, big, heavy tables, walking around a room with people just holding gently their hands on it. How does that happen? But no, nothing demonic came from any of it.
No, but so you don't believe that people spirits can come out of the Ouija board
No, I
and
don't
kind of
believe
like
that things can come out of the Ouija board. I believe that people can open portals if they don't use it correctly, but I've never experienced that.
okay, so yeah, okay, portals and where the spirit comes out, it stays in there, stays in the home and everything, and because they do say Ouija boards are dangerous.
But it's dangerous to cross the road. It's dangerous to drive a car fast around a track. It's dangerous to get on a horse. But everybody still does it.
Right. Okay. 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 I love your answer. Okay. Okay. Let's move on from that. But so,
I can't lie and say, oh, yes, it's terrible. And I can't because I've
well,
never
it's
seen it.
terrible. It is terrible. It's dangerous too. If if the Ouija board is not used in a proper way, it can be dangerous. It can be really dangerous.
Yeah.
And
Have you used one before?
me
Yeah.
never.
No. Would you?
No. No. I do not believe in things like that. No. No
No.
chance. No.
Okay.
No. I don't believe. I think I don't believe in none of that hocus pocus and whatever it's called. Um, but but I do believe that there's evil out there, and I've seen something like it, and I'm not dealt with it, but seen something like it
Yeah.
when I was with the church one time. But that was that was experience that I will never forget. The trouble is, so with anything like this, and congratulations in what you do, but the trouble is, I remember going on to Dartmoor once, and I was going along Dartmoor, and we were told there's a coven there. I used to work for a church group, and they said, "Oh, there's a coven out there," and we went out there because we were on Dartmoor anyway. And someone said, "Oh, um, he's got these weirdos over there dancing around." And what they did was they got sheep and put all the blood on their bodies and stuff.
Rituals.
Yeah, and things like that, and dancing around this fire type thing. And the sheep, oh, it was horrible, really horrible. And all of a sudden, this is all true. It's in the papers. And all of a sudden, I thought to myself, please, I need somebody. I need help. Really need help. Me and my friend said we need help. And all of a sudden, we could hear this noise coming down the road, and it was the Royal Marines.
Was it?
Yeah, honestly, yeah, Royal Marines, and they were on a what you call like a run type thing. They were doing their exercise at night because they do like exercises at night. And
Uh,
the bloke, one of the people said, "What's wrong with you?" I said, "Well, come and have a look at this, mate." And he says, "Right." He said, "We can stop that." I said, "Right, what are you going to do?" He said, "Watch this." And he had a flare, and he let the flare off, and these people were naked, and they went off different ways.
oh,
Honestly, and they got arrested in the end. It's true. It's a true story. It was in
oh.
you have a look Bodmin occult, and it was in 1990 on
Was it on
on
Bodmin Moor then?
yeah
Yeah,
Bodmin Moor, yeah.
that's a bit of a spooky place, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Honestly, it was bad. But the funny thing about it, when he let the flare off, everybody went everywhere.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
all ran away.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. But that's what happens with anything. And but if people come to you and say, right, okay, Jan, I want you to kind of like help me, right? Um, because some people might kind of like do it because they want to take a mick or so. How do you know these people are generally want the help?
I've got good intuition. I've never had anyone come to me that was like winding me up or just testing me. I've had people say afterwards, "Oh, I was just testing you a bit," and then when I start talking to them and I get all the things coming through for them and that, then they kind of change their mind. But I don't think I've ever had anybody like that.
No.
I don't. I can't see that I have. I don't know why they'd waste my time.
Okay, so if anybody wants to contact you, how do they contact you?
They can contact me on Facebook, Jan Mayfield's page. They can go on my website, janmayfield.com, and they could email me jansmail@hotmail.co.uk. Oh, no, .com. .co.uk, sorry.
Right, okay. And the last thing is mediums and everything, are they licensed, are they?
No, there isn't any licensing. Not that I know of in the UK. There isn't anything.
Right, okay.
No.
Okay.
Perhaps there should be.
Wow.
You see, I have a different opinion on that, because if you start licensing and then people start testing you, which is fine, I wouldn't have a problem with that. But then it's like they start to control you. So therefore, then you're not authentic and flowing and doing what you came here to do, because people are saying, well, you can do this and you can do that, or you can't do something else, And I don't know if I'd want to be controlled or try to be controlled.
Yeah, fine. That's okay. Just I had a message here and I thought I'd better tell you about it.
Thank you.
Anyway, Jan, thanks very much. And thank you for putting up with me again. Sorry about the name, but there you go.
No
See you
problem.
later, Jane.
Have a lovely day. Take care, Brendan.
See you later, Jane.
See you.